afternoon. What?
How are you doing today?
Busy. Very busy.
Busy like for a good cause?
Laundry.
Wondering. Okay. Well, hopefully because it's Wednesday now, that many people will be there also. Because some of the kids are back to school already, and it's
It's not until September 10th, the school year.
no,
The
some
public
schools. I think a
school.
couple of charter schools are back already starting this Monday.
Oh. Um, I don't do it like outside though. I do it at home, so I just have to, you know,
Oh,
hang
you
it.
have a washer dryer unit?
I don't have a dryer. I have a washer,
Oh,
so it's very like kind of cumbersome because I have to hang it here.
mhm. Wow, that's pretty cool actually. Lucky you. Doing it at
Yeah,
home saves a lot of time.
that's true. Oh, hang on one second.
Have you, what's the process every year for you for the plan for Patrick's schooling year? Do you leave any plan for it?
I have to make a plan for it and then mail it in. Well, email it.
How long it usually takes you to get into like into the role to decide how many hours program maybe?
I'm still not all the way done with it because I have like a few things to work out, but I plan on finishing it by today. And whatchamacallit, I usually take a while because I have to buy the books and put things together. So I usually start like at least like I probably start at like mid-July. Because I have to get textbooks.
Textbooks, yeah, I can imagine. How many classes, how many like things he should have this year?
Well, he's taking science this year too, like social studies, English, math, but it varies what year it is, you know. Um, and he's taking science this year, and they do like they're doing it different. Um, they're doing like when I went to school, they did like chemistry with some lab. Now they're focusing on like just everything, and also what got me stumped is that New York State wants like a separate New York State history, you know, and but it also says that it's only got to be like I think touched on like twice, 2 of the years in middle school, not but it's like a separate history aside from U.S. history and world history. There's got to be New York State history, so that's got me a little bit stumped. Like, so I've been looking up like what exactly do they want, and seems they just want like like pre-colonial times and
Pre-colonial times.
well, like colonial times and pre-colonial. Well, like because the Native Americans in this area, they were sort of cool. Like I like the Native Americans from New York, New Jersey area. Um, they're a little bit like different than the Native Americans from like Middle America. Like they, the way they like worship nature and all that. I don't know why that stuck with me from when I went to school. Um, but I don't know. Like I'm probably gonna teach that, and like I wanted him to know about like when like Hell's Kitchen and like the robber barons. That's like local stuff, sort of like Carnegie was from New York, and he helped build like all the skyscrapers and stuff. But I'm trying to figure out like what I could resource for that. You know, maybe just library.
Speaking of libraries, do you use it? Do you have this like habit or culture of actually going to the libraries with personal
I
information?
have a card. We could go more often than we do. There's like a lot of online resources, and we order a lot of books. Yeah. I told you how I feel about people like just strangers that their intentions are not like I don't know who's saying I'm making it up. I don't think I'm making it up. Some people think I'm making it up. Like this morning, like I don't have evidence, you'd say, but the lady from the post office, she knew that like it's like I wasn't getting like a lot of sleep, and I got like 6 hours like intermittent sleep because I went up or got up for no reason at night, like twice to pee, and once just something woke me up. Something, somebody, I don't know, and it wasn't it was quiet in my apartment. It wasn't like my cats weren't loud or anything, but I don't know, like this lady. It's just also like I feel like I'm treading on what I can't talk about, so I'm not like completely exploited for being honest and what I can't. But this lady from the post office, she brought me like I got screens because it's gonna be fall from my windows, and I don't want my kittens to fall out, so I put double screens in. Um, I have like window bars, but they're smaller, so they get between the slats. So um, she woke me up like the mail never comes this early, and it came like 7 in the morning or something. Like there's maybe it was 8 already, maybe I think it was 7, but like they never actually deliver anything and call me, to let me know. Usually they just dump it somewhere. And she's like, I'm like, I'm gonna open the door, and she's like, I'm not gonna bring it up. It's for the fourth floor, and I don't know if it's a policy or not. I just didn't feel like arguing, but like the tone of her voice, it's like I'm not imagining it. It's like that combined with this post office, and it's like obscene because like I sent my friend to pick something up because I don't know, Lord knows why they were holding on to it. Like I'm home most of the time, they could have just knocked or something. So he went to pick something up, so they give him something else. There's always something going on with the post office, right? With the packages, they're always messing around. So he had to go back and get the other thing the next day for me, because he's doing it for me, because I don't want to go, because I just don't want to look at these people, because I just feel the hostility. Like it's I hear it in their voices and I see it, and it's like, okay, I don't have police evidence like that. Okay, I guess not, because sometimes police evidence takes investigating. You would need like an official to present it, but I swear to God, these people are stalking me and harassing me, and also, like with this
Well,
whole thing.
actually, let's differentiate, maybe make it a little bit more clear. So, their tone of their voice, denial of bringing personals to the fourth, like floor or to the top of floors. How is that connected with harassment specifically? Because define me what would be not harassment to you.
Like when they're doing like public service, like they specifically don't want to service me or something, they'll give me an attitude, right? And then like they'll do the worst possible job, and that entails, not only just like casual stuff like dumping things or whatever. It's like they knew that I was sleeping and that my kid was sleeping, because he also went to bed very late. He was staying up watching anime, and he also stayed up late, and they woke him up. Like, he went back to sleep. He just woke up just now because he fell back asleep because they like woke him up. And like, how would they know this that I'm sleeping right now unless somebody informed them? And it's like not fair, that everybody should know my business. I get nervous too. I shouldn't. Like, I'm trying to build up the confidence to just be like, oh, fuck it. What's the worst that could happen to me? Whatever, man. What are you gonna do? You have this big ploy to make me the bad guy, like throw me in a jail cell or what? Or like make me hurt myself? That's obvious. Every time like my phone rings, I get nervous. I'm like, what the fuck could it be? And it's usually spam. And then I get nervous that if I don't pick it up, I'm gonna lose something, or like it was something important. So I'm checking my voicemail, but it's usually spam. And why is like so much spam calling me? And it's weird times too, like when I'm on the toilet. Like, why would they know that I'm on the toilet? I'm not making this up.
Well, I wonder, do you think it is connected? Like, what's giving you the reasoning that it's all connected? That's, I guess, that might be.
I'm straight up like 100%. It's like, I'm not unreasonable. I'm working on what's reason really. Like, people self-justify all the time. I'm trying to work on how do I convince them to stop, because I even know that there's people that believe me, right? My kid just doesn't like, he's like, because I told him a couple times, baby, they poisoned our food. And I told him the FBI poisoned the food. And he's like, I know that they're not FBI, but maybe somebody poisoned the food, And that's funny, right? Because that's like childish reasoning. Like, because at some point I might have adjusted him to not say anything about the FBI because they were FBI, But legit, like, it's just, and the things that he grew up with that are strange to me, he would be used to this. It's like, I know that sometimes, like, they hack my like my computer or my like TV, and he just wouldn't notice it because he doesn't know what a computer's supposed to function like. And I believe they dub things like legit over like what's pre-recorded, and again, like, it would take someone that's willing to help me to present this as evidence, because I mean, even if I record it on like a device that doesn't have like Wi-Fi on it or something, and I keep it on my persons, if I go to ask, please, can you present this for me? They go, no, we don't do that here.
Well, do you, what's the reasoning that it's the same folks? Because, it sounds like multiple occasions from different departments to me. Say, like, people that make calls to you, people that can check your personal information on the laptop, people that maybe make life more difficult with, like, day-to-day things. It sounds like different people, no?
They are different people. I think it's because they are FBI, and they also have part-time jobs, I guess, or whatnot, which was like stupid. And then the FBI agency asked them to partake in active duty because they were downsizing. So they'll pick on like the easiest case, which is like me, and they have like person after person after person doing this, and they are not very intelligent, because, and also what gets to me is they don't very much support civil rights, because by now somebody would have said, listen, this person's privacy is being invaded. It's not about, you know, like anything superficial, like I like you, I don't, but the it's not like funny. And that's how I look at you sometimes. I'm like, it's like, why is it to everybody? How is this legit? That everybody thinks that it's about I like you or I don't, sort of thing. You know, whether
You're giving. It sounds to me that you're giving a lot of thought to like how it organized, how their lives and jobs are organized. What about your life? Like, how do you manage to navigate all of this through that?
I don't fulfill my potential whatsoever. Poorly. I don't fulfill my potential. You know, and struggling because I'd like to be happy, or I'd like to be not angry on the inside. You know, and as far as like tasks, like I don't know when I have a spare moment. Like I'm sitting right now on the floor and I feel like I should get, you know how they have those like walking like miles counters. I should get a sitting counter to see how often I get to sit down, because I'm in my home. I'm not like outside or anything, but I'm always like up, like cleaning or doing something, or like Patrick do this, or like I and it's it's not like the world is against me, but I feel like the definitely like I think the people in my building are not with it, and I think it's very sometimes the worst of it is that I find this whole thing very irrational. That how could you be so close in physical proximity to someone, or how could you be so coy and like pretend that you're trying to help someone as per like public servants or whatnot, and have this hidden agenda. And I don't know if like um maybe they're just like, oh, I'm just gonna get by on this investigation, some of them. But any case, a lot of this stuff is like pig shit. I think like they do steal my packages and stuff, and they do fuck around. It's beyond disrespecting my privacy. And I told you what I thought about I have I have cans saved, and somebody put, I think it's abortion pills in my food, and it's like too major for anyone to care, but I think somebody might believe me, and that's how I get by too. I keep sort of
Abortion.
like
Okay, hold up. Previously, you were saying that it's birth control. Now you're saying
it's
abortion.
also all sorts of stuff in all sorts of foods, but I saved some because I saved some of this soup because this is some drama.
Have
I
you seen
If they
like
investigate it.
parts of it?
No, no. It's just that like I read online, if you're not pregnant, it will give you like intense diarrhea and from the spasming.
Diarrhea, I don't think that's the correct way how it works. 'Cause it's given
It
periods.
gives you, yeah, but it can't give you a period if you're not pregnant. It won't make you
It is
bleed.
giving you. No, no, it is giving you period. Your the reasoning the birth control pills are aimed to restart the system.
But RUD40 will just make your uterus spasm. It won't make you bleed automatically.
Regardless, it starts people's period. It's making all of the cycle of the month working faster. So instead of having like 7 days for the egg to travel to uterus and then just discharge it with the blood, it's making it faster. In 4 days, females will start their period. We
I don't think this is your like scope of interest, because what you're saying at RUD40 just gives you spasms of the uterus, which if you were carrying.
Have you tried to at least Google or speak to
I
medical
did. I
professionals?
googled it. That's what it says. If you Google it, it says it will give you intense spasms of the uterus, and if you're not pregnant, it typically won't hurt you. It won't even make you bleed. It'll just give you diarrhea, because when you're spasming, it sort of spasms your colon too, you know. And I noticed that this time I was the only one that had this diarrhea.
Ilona, it sounds that maybe speaking to a medical professional to just understand how it works will make better. Because
But you know, they'll say, even if they say something like dismissive, what would really put my mind at ease if a trustworthy forensic professional, you know, would analyze this in a lab. And you know, because as far as trustworthiness goes, it's these days, because people are so faithless, it's all about personal agendas. So they'd have to convince me that we're working together, that this forensic professional is working for me as well, because like I told you, I actually wrote to the FBI to ask them if they have a file on me, and they said they do not. Like, they wrote me a letter back, and I think I even paid them like $15 or something um, for the document processing, and they said no, we do not.
I think it's important to speak to somebody about it because I don't want you to have misinformation here. The Plan B, the
No, Plan B does something
emergency
else, but
contraception,
the reason I mentioned this,
emergency contraception.
yeah, and
is
people
something-
think Plan B is like bullshit too. It's like $5 a pill or something. I'm sure that happens
It's
all
not
the time.
$5 pill. It's about 65, or maybe now it's only 80. But emergency contraception
No way.
pills
So
are 80 guarded period.
not at all.
And
It's
I
$5
think it's
on Amazon.
important to update this information. Okay, because I don't know when was the last time you actually took. It often happens that something that brings us stress in life, and we just get so caught up with the stress that we forget to check out the reality of it, because things are changing constantly, which is okay. We all in this together, you know. But it will be important to just keep yourself updated.
I don't know. It's, you know, it's sort of miserable, because like I'm smart enough and educated enough to know better, to, but not smart enough to demand like answers either, apparently. So it's like very, I feel very offended.
It's interesting how sometimes you call yourself, oh my god, what was the word? Like low life, you're using those derogatory terms to yourself, and sometimes you
When?
call yourself smart and educated. I wonder what it depends on why it changes sometimes. Because sometimes you call yourself that you live like a dog and that you
I do
don't
live like a dog.
properly. And sometimes you call yourself very well educated. Where is
No,
this
I said I'm not smart enough to demand answers, but I'm smart enough that I know better. Like, I'm educated enough that I know better, because you know, I know what this pill does, you know, and like I'm smart enough not to like have my head so far up my own ass that like I don't see people stalking me, but I'm not smart enough to demand answers. Like, I don't know how to do this, you know? And it would be some, like, I'm telling you, I'm sitting around, I'm hoping that maybe somebody would be like, all right, I've had enough, you know, I'm gonna help this person out, because it's not okay. Like, it's it's like it's civil rights and it's harassment, and it's not okay.
what is specifically harassment?
Like, these people that are stalking me, they have nothing to investigate. Otherwise, they would put forth like official documents. I think like medication, I'm willing to try it because I'm tired. I'm too tired to argue. I don't think it's gonna help me. I think it's gonna make me a fun gal or something. Maybe it'll make me more sociable, but I don't think, like, how does it take reality away? You know, it may take bits of your consciousness away, like by making you like groggier or less receptive or whatnot. But it's like not gonna change what's going on. Because I don't think it's gonna kill me either. Like I was fighting at first, but I don't think it's like with all the real deal that's taking a toll on my life. I don't think it's gonna kill me. So
It's hard to tell really. But if you are serious about proceeding with information and trying to reach, then we need to, talk about it with
I still keep sitting here thinking that okay, well, even if I'm compliant, my biggest hope is somebody's gonna go, well, how atrocious? You know how much worse can these people get? Uh oh.
it is important, I guess, to change the shift. Shift of potential from somebody to yourself, because everything that's happening, why people get most of this responsibility for it, and you are the one who can change and say if you choose to proceed and explore the option of medication. It's going to be a journey. Let's take it with some like curiosity. What if try medication? Because there will be a period where you start taking it, you will observe yourself, how you feel, how the body reacts to it, how you get along with the doctor and all that. And then to see it needs to change again. That's
I think it's gonna be like bullshit candies. I don't think it's I mean, I'd rather not take anything cancerous. Like, because there's a lot of meds that cause cancer and stuff. So
what do you mean? Is there a study talking about that? I don't know, any SSRIs, antidepressants, or anxiety medication causing cancer?
yeah, like Seroquel and Risperdal, they're cancerous. I was reading online. There's lithium isn't. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it'll fucking knock me out. Maybe it's not just like candy, but I'm thinking like, you know, um, all right, like how much, like more, like hateful can this ignorance be? Like if I'm even compliant with this, but I don't know. I also see like my friends kind of wither because, you know, like some people they grew up with like different sort of ethics and it goes beyond manners. I realize that. I see that they're more clinging to the aspect of manners than like true ethics, which would entail actual like honesty and real discussions, as opposed to just hoping that there's some greater authority to speak on your behalf. But um like I don't feel like I'm like turning tail and running because I don't have anywhere to run. I think maybe like somebody else will realize that, and in the least, they'll take another good look at, what's going on, like what's going on in Pigsville, because it seems like to me it seemed atrocious from the start. I feel like, okay, well, was I too merrily in that I was always giving all these people like the benefit of the doubt? I think we've had this discussion before. Because it just seems like I know that their goal is not to be decent, not to be nice. I don't think, I think maybe, and I'm proud of myself for this, for I did get like some people from far away to notice, because I did write like FBI complaints, like officially. So maybe somebody did come to investigate, and I'm proud of this, and that's like sort of enough for me, you know. So, but I don't think, when people are putting pills in your food, I don't think I'm gonna be like, what am I gonna be, super paranoid of people, of like a prescription or whatnot, like
I mean, how
that's.
would you want to be? Because that, at least when we talk about medication for the current symptoms that we've already been dealing with, like difficulty sleeping, restlessness, anxiety, that needs these things to make life safe, help you to function, be focused, daily tasks, not experience this anxiety. You ever feel this way that you're super scared to be in public spaces and stuff?
I don't know. Sometimes I feel like we're playing like a bluffing game, because, maybe the FBI could handle it, and it's just greedy, and they just don't want to, um, you know, welcome a new friend with her demands. But like, I just, I don't care. I'm not like super scared, because then I'd be super scared of what, like, you know sometimes the fact that people are pushing meds before um like investigations, or like appropriate, like investigations of my situation, that they are stalking me, it puts them in like a bad light, like, well, weren't you being this atrocious? So it's like I'm sitting here playing a bluffing game. But it's not a game to me, because I just don't have any options. I told you the truth. I'm too tired. I don't know what to do, because my friend, like, who I thought was like gonna help out and stuff, he's like, oh, just take the medications, but sometimes I think he's like laughing. He's like laughing at everybody, thinking, oh, well, what are they gonna do if she just says, okay, I'm totally nuts? There's no FBI and they're not stalking me. What are they gonna do then? Because some of this food that I told you they poisoned, it would be like the equivalent of like me taking a dump in a cup and serving it as pudding. It's really inedible. And he tried it with me. Like, we ordered Wendy's when he came over here, and he tried it with me, and he could actually, like, because I was like, what the fuck is in this drink? Because it was making me super like disconnected and groggy and stuff. And I think he noticed it too. I think he noticed there was like Special K in the drink or something. And it's like, it makes sense, because this stuff is cheap and easy to get. And I guess these people really hate me. And I don't know. I think about like lots of stuff, like, say, like, I get my way too, and I get my freedom. I even get mad. I go so far as like, well, where am I gonna go if, now that I know this is what people are like, this is what our law enforcement is like, where do I go, like, with my kids, or when I get older, to feel safe, And I think about, well, Russia's like mad cold, and there's like no money and no food, and I think about going back to Russia. It's that absurd, because it sort of would be difficult, with like a half black child, to go to Russia. Because I even thought, well, what if like I get SSD? Can I move to Russia with that? Because people live in Russia on a whole lot less,
What do you mean SSD move back to Russia? You
Like if they give me the Social Security disability payments, can I go back to
over
Russia?
there?
Yeah.
Well, you want to receive social security disability payments in Russia, so you will need to apply to that in Russia. It's a
No,
different
no, no,
country,
no.
right?
Till you people do it, get this payment here and move back to Russia. And I'm thinking anybody that would really love our country, shouldn't they investigate this shit instead of saying, oh,
Yeah, but Ilona, wait, what are you specifically talking about? Because right now there is no way people can live over
they
there.
do, they do. I knew people that did it.
Well, maybe in the past.
They
Maybe
only
people
come
before.
back to see a doctor like every 6 months. They come back and see a doctor here in the
Maybe
States.
if they manage to live for both countries, it's somewhat possible because they still reside here, but that requires.
Yeah, exactly.
You will need to pay your tax, like have your tax returns and have your tax paperwork done every year in both countries. Also, right now, I don't think it's possible because since the war in Ukraine started, with like payment wise, a lot of things change. Like, have you spoken to anyone who's still doing that recently?
No, but in the 90s, people did it like all the time.
Maybe in the 90s, maybe in the 90s.
And I just started thinking about why would you do that? And then I'm like, well, maybe they had some shit like my shit, you know? And it's like, wow. But I also, you know, like legit, I could talk to a lawyer about this, not you, because I'm not sure you know how that works. But like my son is like black, you know, and I don't know how it is in Russia with like people that barely speak Russian, you know, because
But
I mean,
remind me, you never lived there since you moved as a kid at the early age. You never lived there as an adult, right?
I did not even go back to visit. I wish I went back
Okay.
to visit.
So basically, we might as well talk about any other country in the world because you have no understanding how Russia functions. Is that correct?
I speak Russian though, and I have really fond memories of childhood.
Sure, but it has nothing to do with how the situation is right now because it's been over 30 years and you've never visited the country.
I know, but I'm on the internet all the time looking like what's it like. I looked a couple of times what's it like to be black in Russia and things of that nature. But really the worst part of it would not be my me feeling guilty for my lack of patriotism for America. It would be like my child does not speak Russian, you know, and
Well, maybe it's not specifically fair to choose this country just because you read about it on the internet because you have no proper knowledge of it.
I think the people there are beautiful. I listen to some music, like the new music that they're producing, like some music in the genres that I really admire. Like they're making like synthwave music that's like really excellent, and it's very like intelligent, you know. And you know, I sort of honor that. They also made some video games and stuff too. I mean, it's hard to do anything in Russia.
It does a lot of things, I'm sure.
Like it's a lot of intellectual things that like I'm really fond of.
But for you to make a decision to move your life and your son to a different country, is music and video games would be the major decisive factors here?
Well, no, money would be.
Also, yeah. I mean, anything is possible. It depends on what you want.
But sometimes money is nothing because what if, you know, like right now, like say like I'm living in like an apartment, right? The head leasee, how do you say that? The leaseholder, and like I feel horrible. I'm struggling for a home because they say like I don't know. I wanted to put that one on you too. They say like a house is different from a home. Home is full of love and sentiment, and a house is just something that keeps the weather off of you, like keeps you warm and keeps the rain like off of your head, somewhere to sleep. So I feel like very like homeless here because I struggle to understand why you would like steal my packages, why you would dishonor me like to begin with when I moved in here. I feel
Well,
like
look,
these people were
that
just trying to push me out, push me and my kid out, and it's not fair, you know, because like now that like I don't even know, because it's really not fair because I actually was sort of just like happy, like, oh, I have um, a roof over my head, I can make it a home and I could get started on, you know. But it seems to me like all these services, like when I, sorry, I keep interrupting you, but like when I was,
yeah, it's just when let's try to pause for today because our time is up and like that's the
okay,
goal in our French as we talk about, interest in trying medication, getting ready for Patrick's school year and maybe thinking considering moving elsewhere in some longer perspective. Let's define that as our discussion today and we will continue that from the next week because I wouldn't want to, lose the
okay, I'm not like putting it all on you. Okay,
okay.
I'm taking it as it comes.
All right, yeah. So I will